everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Deity Dialogues. Today is going to be another special episode as we have a guest. Before we show the guest, it is I, Hez, and that person over there is T. And our
Yay.
wonderful guest for today is the person who is a vampiric detective, has some run-ins with the future, a cleric in the land of Barovia who has some in and outs and has a complicated relationship with their ex-girlfriend, a wonderful individual from the same lands as T. Peachy, hi.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Of course.
of course. Yeah. So today, as to the viewers, Peachy is a player for my games, and I had so much fun playing with Peachy. It's always a blast to have them in the table. So we're just gonna have some fun conversations with you. Is that why?
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Love yapping with you guys.
In the yep we shall. So what and T usually has things covered on what we're talking about. So go ahead, T. What we're going through first.
I mean, you
Me?
will be answering a lot of questions. Not you, our
Oh,
guest.
okay.
Our guest. Well, we start off with some questions that me and Hez both have, interspersed with some quote unquote audience questions from the server. Divinity D&D. Do join us there if you're watching this. Please do. It's a fun time. But yeah, that'll be us for a good amount of time. And every so often we'll go to an AITA post that is TTRPG or D&D related and get some opinions going, get some controversial hot takes from
That's what we
from
like.
our very
That's what we like.
yes, that's really why we started this, is to give our hot takes, and of
As you
course
deserve.
you're free. real we really do deserve to talk shit,
Yeah.
honestly.
Work, slay, and so forth.
No, but you can also ask us questions, PG. That is completely fine as well, but this is mostly a chance for you to show off a little bit, to just,
Flaunt your skills.
be a
You're the
bit
main star today.
zesty.
You're the main star today. Oh, also, I hope Harold is giving you a great time there.
But yeah, I'm snug as a bug in a rug. I'm cozy. Warm.
Beautiful.
It took a lot for Harold,
seems-
to not eat guessing when someone is in something is in his mouth. So good to know that training has been paid off.
I mean, free
Indeed.
heating. I'm nice and snug and warm. The cost of living crisis.
That's for sure. So,
Ozzy lives.
Because he lives.
if you don't mind, I want to start ahead with asking this to everybody. How did you discover TTRPG, and what caused you to start playing it?
Well, you guys have both been there for me through the majority of my experience with TTRPGs. It's D&D specifically has been something I've always been very interested in. I think I've always had a very overactive imagination, and it seemed like a very good avenue to kind of work through that. But yeah, it's been on my radar for a very long time. It wasn't until 2021 that I started realizing that it wasn't just like a space for the typical D&D nerds that you'd see, like the cis white straight men. And yeah, I got into D20 first, and that kind of helped me realize that it was a safe space for more than just that archetypal person. And yeah, and then I met T in my first ever one shot, and it's been uphill since then.
I was your first DM.
No, it's remember the one shot we were in that had 1 second.
No, you're right. Yeah, I
It
know
wasn't a
which
one
one
shot.
you're
We just
talking
only had
about.
one session of it.
Oh,
Yes,
and then it collapsed.
exactly. No, and then well, it did collapse, but then after that session 0, I don't even think it was session 1. After that, I think me and Peachy just like clicked really well. So we just ended up kind of like adding each other on Discord,
Uh-huh.
and and ever since then we've been good friends.
Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome to hear. Especially in 2021. That's still on the back end of the pandemic, huh? So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was when it was pretty bad still. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. During that time was very hectic for all of us. And it's good to hear that you managed to find some friends. You know, not a lot of people are lucky like that. And
Yeah, I very much so lucked out, I would say. I feel like there's still a lot of negative things within the TTRPG space. And I really got lucky with the group that I found, specifically T, and how comfortable they made me feel with getting involved in TTRPGs.
Aww.
Both of you as well.
Aw, thank
My
you so
heart.
much. Thank you. Wow. So, well, which goes next is that, you know, how do you feel it so far? Like from then to now? Like how, like is there like, do you feel like there's growth, that there's like a feeling of growth when since then till now?
Massively. I think there's a lot of confidence that I've gained now in just trusting my abilities to be creative and to make good characters and make good decisions in character. I mean, my first serious character, well, not serious because he was so massively unserious in every way, shape, and form, but my first like long-term character was just a guy named after my dad. Who was like just the most unserious man ever. He had a sheep named Sean.
True.
So in terms of how I've grown in my ability to make characters and feel comfortable and confident making characters and trusting my creativity it's skyrocketed.
Oh my, that's awesome to hear. Yeah,
Honestly,
that's why this continues from last stream, which is, you know, D&D is for free therapy, you know.
it really is. Especially David. Like, sorry about name dropping your character.
Oh no, it's completely fine. David Llewellyn, my son, my boy.
Exactly. Like Llewellyn was such a good character. I mean, you kind of pitched him to me very like, oh hey, it's gonna be this guy and he's gonna be named after someone I know, and he's gonna be kind of unserious, and he's gonna have a devil sheep. And I remember going, huh. Okay. And then I just loved it way too much.
Yay.
Never let it go.
So much fun. I remember specifically it was my younger sister, Wiggly, that was originally planned to be in there. And then I think someone else dropped out. And then like 30 minutes before the session started, Wiggly approached me and was like, hi, fill the space, please. So I'm in like a desperate mad rush. I was like, what if he was a shepherd and his paladin and his sheep was his steed? What if that's what I have for you?
Yeah, it wasn't an actual sheep, by the way. It was like a size of a war horse or something. It was insane. And I, as the DM,
sorry.
Sure, yeah, it's not gonna break the game. Go for it.
Yes. The image of that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What was that character's race?
Just human. I remember, he was just a human paladin. I think that's like the most basic first character ever. He was just a guy. Honestly, just a guy.
Just a guy. For sure.
And it was for my one shot that turned into a mini campaign that then turned into a long form campaign, which was truly the most natural progression I've ever seen.
I think we had such a good group. It was just like it was almost very like found family in the way it came together. Like specifically Chad, I miss you if you're out there.
That really must have felt like good as well, because if it was your like if it was like the very first character you made and you had such a foundational experience of it, I can imagine why you became the player you did, because you just have a way of making very unserious ideas into the most like flourishing creative ones that I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
It's just it's a treat to see.
I think a large part of that is down to both of you as well. I think I was lucked out with having the DMs that I did as early as I did. And my fellow players as well. I've really lucked out with them. So yeah, I think it wasn't just me. Yeah, I don't think it was all due to me. I think I had a lot of help in that regard.
That's really like awesome, because it's just so interesting how these things come together, you know, like you, especially with like none of us actually having met any of us like in real life. It's all online, but you know, speaking of David, he didn't have any like pre-existing relationships within character as far as I can remember. Gwydion does, and I've noticed a lot of your characters tend to. So I just wanted to ask, I guess, how do you go about them, and what's your like general mentality about pre-existing relationships within a group?
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think again, it's what usually happens when I create characters is that I just kind of come up with like a very stupid concept, and then I like a changeling who's not over their ex, even though they were the one in the wrong. And then I try and make it a little bit more fleshed out and less of a joke and a little bit more serious. That's usually what happens to every single one of my characters. So I think it's and I also think it's important to have pre-existing relationships when you're making a character. I think how we as people navigate our relationships tells us a lot about us as people. And I think it's the same for a character, right? How they interact with certain people and their prior relationships says a lot about them as a character and their traits and their flaws.
Yeah, that's actually,
that is such a good answer.
Yeah, that's like really, really good insight on how relationship, friendship works. There is, a thing of saying, I think a saying of we are who we spend time with. And and that your idea of how to create, your character falls in line with that. And I think that's honestly a best way to make your character feel like alive and be able to like immerse yourself easily. Yeah, I like that insight.
Yes. And I guess there's a quote that I'm reminded of in this, like, while we're talking about this, is that like, I am a mosaic of everyone that has ever loved me.
Yes.
I think we really pour a lot of that into our characters, and it's true for our characters as well, whether they're NPCs or player characters. So that's just awesome to think about.
It's weird that this, like, there's a lot of mixture of like philosophy and psychology in terms on when we play characters. You don't know, like, you don't, if you like not pay attention to it, you will just miss it. But if you go like now in detail on how this character will act during the situation, you're basically trying to be like a little bit of a psychologist and trying to learn the different character traits. Which, like, how much time do you spend making your character? Do you usually do?
It depends honestly on the character. For people like Arthur T. Wise, love of my life, light of my universe, and Gwydion, other love of my life and light of my universe. I think what usually happens is that I don't spend too long making them, and then they just kind of stick in my brain, and they won't leave until I've fully fleshed them out. Like I get so hooked and obsessed. Arthur T. Wise specifically, he lives in my brain now, rent free. I need him out. I'm serving him an eviction notice. But yeah, I think the way I make characters is a little bit obsessive. But yeah, I think I spend quite a bit of time. I come up with the initial idea, and then I spend a lot of time fleshing it out. So it depends mostly on the character. But yeah, there are some characters that just, the best ones get like stuck in there, and there's a bit of them in you now, I think.
Interesting. That is
a real thinker, that one.
Yeah. It's like, I'm trying to think back on when I'm making my own characters, and yeah, there's like some sort of like obsession that goes over you when you're like writing out your character and seeing it like be as you think it should be. So I beg the question of, at one point, at what point do you feel that you stop obsessing, just let it, you role play it out, if you know what I mean? Like at one point do you like just write it down, and like what makes that decision happen?
True.
I think character creation is always a fluid thing.
Yeah.
So I think I usually, while I am obsessive and fanatic when it comes to character creation, I think you never know how a character is actually going to be until you start playing as the character. So I think for me, the character creation process is never fully over. I think I'm always like revisiting certain bits. Yeah, I think it's very fluid for me. It's a very fluid process. I think my work making a character is never fully done, and it's based mostly on how I interact and how the DM interacts with me, and how they feed me essentially. But yeah, it's a very fluid process for me. I don't think it ever really ends.
And I guess to add on to that question, I wanted to ask, like, what are your favorite character creation elements that you have, or that you like to have the most amount of fun with?
Oh.
Pinterest boards. Pinterest boards. Oh. That's usually how most of my character, like I will have a concept and then I'll go on Pinterest and find sad quotes, and then I'm like, okay, this is how I get the juices flowing. But yeah, I think character creation, like steps and stuff like that, and what I use, I think anything that gets my creativity kind of flowing like that, like Pinterest, I guess. Pinterest, if you want to sponsor this episode, please.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my god,
I'm pretty sure in the DM side too, I for certain use Pinterest a lot for some inspiration for like campaigns and such. So yeah, I can relate with using Pinterest boards to create your characters. Actually, I don't know if I told you, but in SF Knights, the Baron, I found that picture in Pinterest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh, this could be a fun Vampire the Masquerade game because of that picture, because it gives vampire vibes. So
it does, yeah.
So yeah, is that the only place where inspiration strikes best for you?
No, I find a lot of inspiration in the arts mostly. So reading is a big one. Like Arthur T. Wise is a kind of a homage to how much I love mystery and how much I love detective media. Kind of a love letter to every piece of murder mystery I've ever like absorbed. Music is another big one. I think Gwydion's main inspiration was the song People Are Strange by The Doors. That's kind of what started that process going. So yeah, I mostly get inspiration, and my main tool for creating characters is art, essentially.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. Like, I think it's also because accessibility on Pinterest is quite like open. So you can literally type anything on there, and it just basically generates as close an approximation as you can get for your characters. So
Yeah,
it's
very
really
easy to use.
Yeah, very, 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 very much. You know, I have a kind of silly question.
Okay. Sure.
Class are you in real life, and what class do you want to be?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like, where is your cognitive dissonance? You know?
Yeah.
That's a really good
Are we
question.
talking about like strictly 5e classes?
I mean, you can go for anything.
Ooh.
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 That means Vampire the Masquerade is on the table too.
I know. Too much to ponder. I can't really remember the Vampire the Masquerade ones off the top of my head.
You're
But
free to stick to 5e then.
yeah. I think I'd like to be. I think I'd like to be a bard or a rogue, but I know in my heart that the second some kind of immortal deity or eldritch horror offers me anything, I'm folding. Like a
Oh my god.
So warlock.
Yeah, so I know in my heart of hearts that I'm a warlock.
Oh my god. Oh, a really fucked up cleric.
Very, very honest. Very honest.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. That's crazy.
What about you, Hez?
Yeah.
Oh god. Well, I would like to be a bard for certain, because of the things, like I have a lot of hobbies, so I think I'm like a jack of all trades type of guy. But I know in my heart of hearts I'm more of a monk. Yeah, because of
Nice.
well, mainly because of the not the martial arts aspects, but the way spiritually.
Yeah.
It's usually,
I can see that.
It's usually how like I navigate life. So I think I'm more of a monk IRL, but I want to be a bard, certainly.
You want the chaos, you want the drama.
I really do.
That's so real, actually.
It's really interesting to me that you both chose bard, because I mean, I can see for Peachy, because like Peachy, you chose like mainly charisma type, like, attribute based characters. So I mean, bard fits you really well, but then it also fits Hez, because we're literally on a podcast right now. We're literally barding for like
yes.
So yeah, I think you both fit into every class loosely that you've mentioned, and that is very interesting.
Well, how about you two?
Yeah.
Oh, damn me.
You're not escaping this.
I mean, fair enough. So for me, it's really interesting because I almost was a monk, like not like a fighty monk, but I was like an actual like go to the Himalayas, be like a spiritual,
more
that
lore.
kind of person. Yeah, I know.
No one told me I'd be getting T-lore on this podcast. This is a treat. This is a delight.
I have to drop one tidbit every podcast, and then we'll see where we end up.
I'm gonna keep a note of all of them. I'm gonna make like a little book.
Oh my god, you're actually call it a legend lore, honestly.
If you need a ghostwriter.
Oh yeah, no, I can't write for shit, so fair enough. I would love a scribe. No, so I was almost an actual monk, but then I think, and I also love playing monks. Maybe that's why I got the obsession. That's where I got the obsession from. Yeah, lots of real life informing my in character decisions. But I think I am too yappy. I'm definitely a bard at the core of it, or a
Yeah.
wizard. Because I'm a nerd.
Gale for Waterdeep. Gotcha.
No.
No,
Never.
no. Don't bring that
Don't
near
disrespect me.
tea. So you hate tea. This is what we're learning. You hate tea.
So you want me to die? Oh my god.
No.
I believe they're saying you should get orbed tea.
Oh my
That's what they're
god.
saying.
I must get orbed.
Get orbed. Oh my god. That's a
Oh,
sentence.
bitch.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Interesting. I saw both of those too as well.
Maybe like the College of Law.
Yeah, that's true.
That could be like a good in between.
Mm,
I mean, from everything we've seen on the podcast, that's what it points to.
Yeah.
Whatever it points to.
so much lore.
Oh my god. Lots of.
Yeah, for sure. I guess
I know. Sorry, I kind of stumped you both with that question, huh?
I think that's a beautiful answer,
No.
and I see both of those for you.
Yeah.
I want to be a wizard so badly. I think it's like my life aim overall is to become a wizard.
Yeah.
My Halloween costume last year was just a wizard, just a generic wizard. I've got the hat and the beard already, so
No
just
sorcerer.
the
my
actual magic
profile-
now.
No sorcerer.
Oh,
No
that's
sorcerer, no
interesting.
sorcery allowed.
Huh?
What?
What?
Why?
It was the nepo babies.
Oh, Jesus.
I knew that type of answer is just gonna come out. That's amazing.
Sorcerers are nepo babies. Warlocks are like sugar. They're like like sugar daddy havers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wizards. The true
Thinking.
yeah.
How about clerics?
Wizards on top.
Oh, yeah.
How
How
about
about
clerics?
clerics?
Ooh, I feel like that's very similar to Warlock in a way, where it's like you just have someone to give you.
I
For you.
think a cult member.
I think so.
It's giving
tops,
Kool-Aid.
honestly.
Kool-Aid?
No little cleric, don't drink the Kool-Aid. It's really bad. Sorry.
I love that, actually. It's both dark and fucked up, and
Yeah.
also really, really, really accurate.
Thank you. I think I'm allowed to say it.
Anyway.
Big cleric.
Clerics are service tops. I just think they are.
Oh my god.
You're right. You're fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me
You're
I'm wrong.
right.
Prove
Clerics,
I'm wrong.
clerics are
Oh my
bombs. You're right. You're so right.
Service tops. What are paladins then? I dread that.
Bratty bottoms, I think.
Bratty bottom.
Like they throw tantrums and they want to like grandstand, but heart of hearts, they want to just get a cuddle. They want to be a little spoon.
For sure.
Paladins are the baby girls.
Exactly. Every paladin I've met, baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
That
Baby girls.
includes the Oathbreaker guy from Baldur's Gate.
Bane of my existence is that he's not listed in
was
the
it?
cast.
Oh, I know.
Who? Wait. The opponent? The guy in Act 2?
No, the Oathbreaker
Oh.
paladin that you can get if you break your oath
Yeah.
as a
Oh.
paladin in Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh. Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Right?
Let me just tell you, he's hot. Like, we don't know what he looks like, but he's hot.
Yeah, that man could get it actually, yeah.
Yeah, like, is there a Mrs. Oathbreaker paladin?
Valid.
I need him to read audiobooks. I feel like that could
Audiobooks?
yeah, like I need his voice. His voice is so soothing. Nice.
Him and Emma Darcy should go in on an audiobook together.
Or like a podcast drama.
Oh God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Darcy, if you haven't played D&D yet, we're offering. We're offering. Oh my God.
For sure.
Ah,
All right.
sorry, that really derailed.
Tangent.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We're here to have
Somehow
fun.
we've landed on simping.
All right. Any questions T?
There's a few in the forum.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot on the forum actually.
Yeah.
So I guess the first one is from an anonymous questioner, inquisitor. Let's call them that.
Oh,
Inquisitor.
fantastic.
Do you prefer homebrew worlds or pre-set campaigns, and why?
I honestly overwhelmingly prefer homebrew. I think
Mm.
there's a
Mm.
creativity and fluidity that goes into it.
Mhm.
The exception being has your Curse of Strahd campaign, which I'm obsessed with,
Yeah.
and would kill for more of, actually. So just say the word.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the exception. But in general, I think I prefer homebrew massively. I think there's just a lot more fun to be had with it, and it's nice feeling like you're like the world, like you're fully immersed in it almost, and that you're a part of it in a major way. I think that's nice.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm curious. What's your stance about this tea as well? Homebrew,
Damn.
or,
Okay, so
because there's a lot of pros and cons in between.
I agree. It's one of the topics that I thought would be good for like a in-depth discussion for the podcast. But like I think I DM a lot of homebrew because it gives me more leeway almost. Like I'm a bit of an individualist when it comes to like DMing. But I think preset campaigns are fine. I mean, there's no one way to go about DMing. Oh yeah. with the exception,
which is
there's always
perfect.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm just for me, it's more just a comfort thing, and that's homebrew.
Yeah, there's something about homebrew that's like magical to it. We'll talk about it in another episode. But yeah,
this is a preview.
Yeah, this is a preview. And
just to whet their appetites.
I
check out our Patreon.
I really appreciate that you say that, Peachy, about Curse of Strahd, because I definitely did try my best on like making it feel like homebrewy, like in terms of like you could go wherever you want and you can still affect like the story in some shape or form. So I'm glad for that. Don't worry, I'm itching as well to play it again. So soon we'll be back. We'll be back soon.
Yippee!
Yippee! So yeah,
it really does feel that way. It really does feel like you've went out of your way to make it feel more homebrewy and it's very comforting. It's like a comfort
it's
task of mine.
I can't help I cannot do it without the wonderful people who is obsessed with Curse of Strahd and having its own dedicated subreddit and the resources that they provided. It's really awesome. So yeah. Any more questions, Steve?
There are so many. Another one from an anonymous inquisitor. Do you think alignments should remain stagnant throughout campaigns, or should there be some fluidity?
Oh, that's a really good question for the DM's perspective.
I know.
That's for sure.
I saw it and I was like, spicy.
What are your guys' perspective on this first? Because I have very strong opinions.
Well, Hez, you can go first.
I mean, for me, I don't really use the alignment that much because you like your character grows. Like we grow, our things change all the time. So it should reflect with that. Having strictly being, I'm a chaotic, neutral type of person throughout this campaign is really boring if you don't know how to play it correctly. And that's why like I don't like use it that much. That's my opinion, being like you should be able to change your character alignment throughout the campaign, not remain stagnant.
Yes, so similar to that, I think if the core of your character remains much the same. Like if the motivations and like person that the character is doesn't change, then yeah, absolutely moral alignments changing and being fluid is good, and it makes for a good story. And it kind of also just, offsets any like momentary narrative needs that the DM might have. So yeah, I always like to give a little bit of a moral alignment shift.
Yeah.
So I mean, at least I try to give the lead for it to characters, and whether they take it or not is up to them.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
the opinion that is most important. You, Peachy, what do you say?
I mean, I agree with everything you've both said. I think alignment is a good guide to how you want a character to act, but it doesn't make sense that it's stagnant, because nothing in life is ever stagnant for that long. I mean, you can have principles that you believe in and that you stick to, but I think something like alignment can change depending on who you're spending time with and circumstance. I think it's such like a stiff notion that you have like a character trait that you're fundamentally for every single time in every situation that you're placed in. That doesn't feel realistic to how people are. And so it doesn't really feel realistic to characters either. But yeah, I think it's really useful as like a guidepost to how you want to navigate situations as a character, but not necessarily as something that has to be true about your character in every situation.
What a complete answer, actually. Very, very thought out.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
next question, then, if we're all satisfied with the answers.
Yeah.
How do you make such amazing characters and NPCs, you beautiful people, you?
I know this question. Remain anonymous, so we shall not mention. But
yes,
when you eventually watch this, I love you dearly. But yeah, you guys. I mean, NPCs is a completely different matter. I haven't had much experience DMing, so I don't really know the process for that. But characters, again, I've mentioned this earlier in the episode, but I think I just start with a piece of art that I'm passionate about, and then I kind of snowball out from there and try and make a character out of it. I think, it helps to have something like an inspiration of sorts. It like makes you feel a little bit less unanchored and floaty in it. Usually I also try to pick like it's going to sound silly. I don't know if I'm eloquent enough to phrase it in a way that makes sense, but like a contradiction almost in their character. Because I think we as humans are inherently contradictory, right?
Yeah.
We have traits that don't really align with other traits that we have constantly. And I think for me, I try to pick a contradiction that kind of guides their internal conflict in a way. So like for Arthur T. Wise, it's how do you remain a good person and identify as a good person still when you're experiencing the things you're experiencing and put in the situations that you're in, like being parasitic inherently and causing violence inherently. Just to survive. So yeah, stuff like that, like a contradiction guides their internal conflict is kind of a route I take to make complex characters, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds like a really solid answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. I and especially because the characters that Peachy makes are just again, they start off a little unserious, but then they kind of go into the big, like, I don't want to say spiral because that has like a negative connotation to it, but it is kind of a spiral in terms of like how the character kind of goes down the entire campaign. So yeah, very, very. I was also interested to know how you figure that out. But I guess I did ask something similar earlier, which is why I was like, oh, I'm just listening to this out. But no, I think it's just interesting to see the behind the scenes process of it for you.
Yeah, I usually it's not that serious. I'm making it sound way more serious than it is. For most of the cases, it's like how am I going to be a pirate when I hate the ocean and silly things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be
I
really
remember that.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm making it sound a little bit more serious than it is, but
for context, that character is from, I believe, Memories of the Past.
Yeah.
And as you know, when I was GMing, that was like a mind bender for me. Cause I was like, it's really interesting. Cause like trying to figure out a way on like how to, incorporate, like not incorporate, but how to deal with this type of character.
You can say it's stupid. It's okay. It was exceptionally stupid.
It's not stupid. It's not stupid for me. It was really interesting for me. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, which honestly is just broke my mind to the point that's like, this is really interesting. I wish Memories of the Past continues on us, because there was like dynamics that I thought was really interesting, but it was during the time where it's just the most confusing time as well. So
yeah, I mean, it's a shame, but I'm glad for the campaigns we currently have.
Yeah,
Advise any of them to get more of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's for sure.
For sure.
But what about you guys? Your process with NPCs and characters?
Well, I would turn that question back to you, Peachy. Who's your favorite NPC that I've ever made?
You know the answer.
Do I?
Latika, obviously. My baby girl, love of my life, light of my universe.
Oh my god. I mean, in which case then I kind of answered this last podcast, but
yeah.
I think Latika was just a dear dear creation of mine. I put a lot of myself into her, especially like her like heritage and kind of like the ethnicity inspiration that I took for her.
Yeah.
Very based on who I am as well. And I'm just obsessed with angels, I guess. Like some people obsess over demons. I obsess over angels. It's just the kind of person I am. Yeah. I'm just kooky. I'm just crazy.
You're just
I'm just silly.
Just silly.
What about you, Hez?
Well, there's two types of questions there, so I don't know which one to answer. Favorite NPC, or sorry, how I run over NPCs. Yeah. Usually back when I have no prep and I have to make one on the fly, I just exaggerate one detail about the NPCs. I don't know if I did it, but I remember in like, how should I say this? In SF Nights, where who was it? The Mission Blues in the people. The one who is like, oh, you're the same clan as me, cousin.
he had a really cool name. He had a really cool name, and he got really close to my face.
Yeah, he starts reading fortune cards to you guys. That one was, when I have to make them, like one trait of those who are in, I forgot it's R2T Wise's clan. I forgot Tremere, right? I think it's Tremere.
I think it is Tremere, yeah.
Yeah, and I look on what's the characteristics in Tremere, and then they're quirky, type of gals, who's just kind of weird, but they have good intentions always. Maybe eccentric, yes, that's the word. And I just multiply that by 10. But for like Curse of Strahd, the one that I looked when I was like reading through is I like they provide like pop culture examples. For example, there was one where, who should I say this? What was that? Oh my god, the main girl. Do you escort it? I forgot her name again.
Irina.
I think in her play this character as, I think one of them's like Hermione. And I don't know if I did it justice, but that image like solidifies that in my head, which allow me to play that character as is. So usually those types, that's how I usually go through NPCs and how I created them. So yeah.
Again, I think it's comparing to art you consume and media you consume.
Yes,
I think that is such a good starting point for characters in general.
Yeah. Like a mix match of like different characters that you enjoy usually will create like some interesting dynamic, like Tom Hanks and maybe Jon Snow type of
Tom Hanks and Jon Snow.
Just try to mix
Tom Hanks. What a weird combination.
Exactly. It's really weird,
Tom
right?
Hanks.
It's really
His
really
real
weird.
legal governmental name. Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Let's just be glad it's not Chet Hanks.
Oh my god.
Let's give our thanks.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, right? But if you like think about it, you can create something really I think interesting character from those combinations. So
I think we're sponges to everything we consume. I think it shows in the way we create.
So
I also realized I gave a much less cerebral answer than Hez, where I was just like, oh yeah, no, I kind of I based her after me, whatever.
You can give it another go if you want.
Yeah, you
take
can,
two.
Yeah, take two.
I mean, I don't have much else to add to that. I mean, but no, I think creating NPCs is kind of, I think it's an alternate therapy for me as well. Because, like, yes, obviously you play, like, when you play, you create characters. Like, that is, in and of itself, that is therapeutic. But then with NPCs, I can focus on all the parts of myself that I don't really want to confront.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Or that anyone else would not want to confront. That's one of the things that, especially with. Especially with the pathetic guy, the pathetic dark elf.
Oh, Damien.
Damien. That you guys meet. Like, he looks so cool and like he's so brooding, but then they capture him and he's just this like sad little man you've ever met, and all the attraction just fades out completely.
Oh, you're a wet wipe, huh?
Yeah, I love doing that because it's just good. It's good to have those kind of like, glass of cold water moment.
Yeah, I think like the contradictions again. I think he can be cool and brooding and badass, and also be a little bit of a wet wipe the second he's confronted with any of the consequences of his actions. Those can both be true.
Like until you capture him, he's all like, "Oh, I will bring darkness to you all," and then you capture him, and he's like, "No, let me go, please."
I'm still so upset about that. He was so brooding and hot. No, curse you.
I had to pour some milk over that floor.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's first gay crush is awful, and it had to be true for David as well.
A little embarrassing. Yeah. Well, it's time for the stew question. What D&D creature would be best in stew and or barbecue?
Oh God. Oh, okay. So this is what you meant. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stew
Anonymous
was on their
Inquisitor.
mind.
I don't know much
Inquisitor.
monsters. That's the thing. Oh God. Okay. Hold on.
Damn.
I feel like owlbear is kind of a basic answer, but you're
Yeah,
getting the most.
honestly.
You're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Lots of meat. Yeah.
Also, there's
And
a
like,
bear portion, right? So there's that like
Yeah.
gamey smell as well.
yeah. You can have it as like a steak and like a fried chicken sort of thing. So
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I think a lot of the
Awesome.
other ones are a little bit too humanoid for me to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
an interesting take on where do you draw the line on cannibalism in a world like D&D, where all of the races are distinctly different. Where do the lines to cannibalism
Yeah.
blur? Like, where do they
That's
lie?
true. That's very true.
That is so true. Well, I will also raise you one eye of the like beholders seem to be like
Oh.
they almost seem like they'd make good calamari, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh,
You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
yes.
That's
I
actually
see that.
that's actually a good
Like-
point. Huh?
Ooh.
that one is my crazy answer for that
I mean,
beholder.
dragons. You know.
I don't think lizard meat would taste good, and I think dragons are lizard.
No.
I mean, we never.
Also,
tried.
just I think dragons would be too tough to chew on. Like their
The
hides are
skin.
scale, basically.
No,
Yeah.
that's why you you marinate it. You know, use like honey to break down the proteins. You know. Sorry.
A scale? A dragon
No,
scale?
dragon meat.
Oh, okay.
You
Fair
can
enough.
just
Fair enough,
scale it off like like fish.
yeah. Yeah. True. Oh,
You're getting too
boy.
technical over here.
But I also think
I
dragons.
know. I love it.
Dragons are lived for like an insane amount of time, so it's very mature meat as well.
Mhm.
You need to think about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can age
Like
it
the
as well.
age of the meat.
They age it too.
Aged meat.
Oh my
yeah,
God! Imagine the fat on that meat, though.
Yeah. Especially like as they get older and lazier and they're protecting their horde, whatever.
Yeah. Like
that.
imagine chomping down on Wagar from House of the Dragon. Like, damn, that's crazy.
So, what's your answer, Peachy?
I'm gonna stick to my guns and say owlbear.
Owlbear.
I think that's the most sustainable. I feel like it feels the easiest to attain. I know owlbears are difficult to fight, but whatever. I feel like it feels like they're feels like the if I feel like this is like, you know how most men think they could fight a bear and win.
I can take him.
Yeah.
It's an owlbear, I think.
Yeah.
I can take an owlbear in a fight easy. Bro.
Yeah,
I just
easy
need some
peasy.
Hmm.
Man or owlbear?
Batman. No. We need to title the podcast now that Man or Owlbear.
Man or
Has to be
owlbear.
our title.
That's for sure. How about you, T? What's your thing?
My cookie answer was the beholder, and I'm sticking with them.
Hmm.
And you're
Chop
objectively
up
correct.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, like a squid meat is
Mhm.
kind of awesome. So calamari,
Ah.
like put that with enough marinara sauce. I think I can have I can have eye of the beholder. It would be good.
No marinara sauce. That's
And enough deep frying it.
I mean, the question was specifically stew. I feel like we've lost sight of the
Oh yeah, this is
Or
just
barbecue.
how
yeah, barbecue. Yeah.
yeah, or barbecue.
I mean, you can barbecue calamari. I mean, usually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
So that answers this thing.
Stew.
Well-
I don't know.
For me, I have two answers.
Yeah.
One is a usually ooblex or like gelatinous cube.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's this show that I saw that that kills like the slime and it hardens and they just make ramen. But when they
God.
solidify.
Yum.
So I thought it was like, oh, that's cool. Another is actually mind flares.
Huh.
Oh, another good candidate
Yeah,
for
calamari.
calamari.
Exactly. Imagine the calamari on them. But yeah.
Again,
Oh boy.
it's difficult in this world of D&D because my brain just wants to go, you walk on two legs. That's cannibalism. But I know the answer is a lot more like the specific.
You know, this.
Then what's your stance on ostrich meat?
That's I guess I hadn't considered.
No, if you want to get technical. Sorry, I'm the pedantic philosopher here.
It is giving
what I do.
Is it Diogenes where he was like, behold a man.
Behold, yeah.
That's very you right now.
Bipedal feather. Yeah. It's just a chicken.
This conversation reminds me of that one show in Netflix called, I think, Dungeon Cook, something on those lines.
What?
I need to look it up, but there's this show in Netflix, Dungeon Meshi. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Basically, or Delicious in Dungeon. Basically, they just go in a dungeon and just cook, all the monsters. I think this is where the inspiration comes. Where that question comes from.
Yeah.
I think it was just that this person was making stew from someone who is currently in the same geographical location as them.
Oh,
oh my god.
Wait, isn't there like crab in 5e?
Oh yeah, no, there is. I think I know what you're talking about,
Right,
but I can't remember the name of it.
I forgot it was.
Oh,
there's a giant crab.
imagine
right here.
like a lobster roll, but like with.
Oh, like a chowder kind of thing,
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
or a
Chowder's
seafood
kind of
boil,
a
like seafood hot pot. Oh.
a boil. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Ooh.
Oh my god. I want some now. No.
Now we're hungry for D&D enemies.
I think that's a good
boy.
campaign. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, just
That would be good, yeah.
Dungeon
Meshi style.
I don't think it's gonna be like 5e, but something different.
Yeah. Foodie.
Foodie.
Yeah, just a bunch of chefs going around and trying to find the tastiest little guy to munch on.
Yeah. He just walks out.
So real
Is
for
that a
that.
cricket? Eat it raw.
I can only imagine it in Kylie Jenner's voice, where she goes, "Is that a chicken?"
Oh my.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Foodie, I think, needs to be next. It works on different levels. Like it's like a foodie, but like also food food edition.
Yeah. I swear there is
Wizards of the Coast. I'm available.
They need
Get
it now.
to your source
They
book.
need it
I've been
now.
saying this. Get to your
Curling
source
hair. You're so sexy. Wizards of the Coast.
Jeremy Crawford.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy. Jeremy, come to our
Gary
podcast.
Gygax Jr.
Gary Gygax, join our
Pulling your
podcast.
hair on your finger.
Oh boy.
sure.
We're gonna get blacklisted. We're gonna get blacklisted. I'm so sorry. This is the most chaotic interview episode. I can already tell.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's more than Mary. Here, honestly. Oh my god.
But that is pretty much all the questions. The other questions I think I'll leave to Hez to question.
I mean, I felt like let me see the other one. I think
Oh, actually, no.
Yeah.
There are a few questions that I mean, I think would make for a good question to ask you, Peachy. What is it that you look for when you're role playing? What do you look for? I guess also in the other person, but also in the overall campaign.
What do I look for when role playing? I think I'm not very good at picking up on cues in general, but cues from other people playing that they want to engage is a big one. I think that's something you always have to be conscious of in D&D. Yeah, I think that's a big one. I think moments or opportunities where you it's a difficult question.
yeah.
I think a lot of it, if you feel attached to your character and you feel absorbed in your character, it all comes a little bit naturally. There's not much thinking that goes into it. At least for me, anyway. But yeah, I think I'm always conscious of like where I think I'm always looking out for, I guess, snippets of the environment, snippets from other characters that I feel like my character would attach to and want to respond to. I think that's kind of what I'm always on the lookout for.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
sorry.
No. I was like, as you're saying that, it made me reflect of like when I was when I was when I was beginner and yeah, that I completely missed that. Especially now as a player, I spent most of the time being a DM than a player that is still hard for me to to role play as a player. So yeah,
I think
that's
it is difficult. Especially like I think everyone has a little voice in their head telling them that they're doing too much and that they need to tone it down and stuff like that. And I think finding the right balance between not ignoring that, because sometimes it is right, and also knowing when your character would react in scenarios, I think that balance is really important.
Yeah,
I agree with everything. There was a 100% perfect answer.
for sure.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh my God.
Oh my God. What are some tips that you would share to a player who wants to improve?
Ooh.
It depends.
Great question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. It's a very interesting one. In all honesty, I don't feel like the most experienced person to answer this. I don't feel like I have enough experience yet. I've been playing for 3 years, but I think interaction is a big part of D&D, and I think if you are feeling lost in getting into a character, I think talking to your DM or talking to other players to try and figure out maybe ways to interact more in those kind of relationships and interpersonal relationships with your characters, that kind of thing. I think, yeah, discussions. If you're struggling to get into a character, I'm sure like other players at your table are also feeling a similar way. So discussing with them and discussing with your DM, who I'm sure wants you to be engaged. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yes.
Please.
The amount of players who's even still, if I reach out and ask them, hey, is there anything, usually still reluctant to say things. And not you guys, right? But the other times that I've run games, and it feels so sad that no matter how much you want to help them, but there's no it doesn't reciprocate. So you just have to take it by stride. But yes, please tell your DMs that if you have a problem, tell your DM, ask your DMs, talk to your DMs and such. Yeah, I like that answer.
Any advice you guys would give?
Oh boy. Hey man, be shameless. You out there, you players out there, be shameless. We want yappers, we want smooth talkers, we want the whole lot. So yeah, don't worry about taking up too much space. Worry about seeming a particular way. You are, you're welcome to a table. I understand that not all DMs, not all players maybe as accommodating. They might not be, they might be. We don't know. We've certainly had a few nightmare DM players, both personally and on the AITA post that we read on this podcast.
Yeah.
But no. Just be true to yourself and probably, if you do it with the right intention, it'll come off very naturally. It'll come off very well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I understand if you're introverted, it's a big ask, but just have a talk with your DM in that case. Just trust the space that you're in. take the fall, take the leap. You know, I don't want to say take the fall, take the leap.
Fall flat on your face.
Yeah, fall flat on
Take
your
the
face.
fall and damage.
Yeah. So that's my advice, and I know it's not very helpful, but honestly, just
I think it is really helpful.
Yeah.
I think it's something I needed to learn when I got into D&D, that like you can just, I think you need to trust yourself more. You know, I think it comes down to trusting yourself and your abilities to engage with people. But yeah, I think
want to
really
do
important.
that. Yeah, you want to do that stupid voice? Go for it. You want to do a really fucked up accent? Go for it.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, you want to play an evil character? Communicate.
Yeah.
First. Communicate.
Don't just go for it. Yeah.
And then go for it.
Then go for it. Yeah.
But yeah,
you want to do X, Y, Z. Anything is possible.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
That's something I still have to unlearn as well, though. Specifically the voices thing. I get very self-conscious about sounding like an idiot. Which, like, my entire thing for Arthur T. Wise was being like a beat it touch kind of goofy accent like that. And every single time I tried, it was just like immediately cringing at myself. And it's no, I have to unlearn this if I want to have the experience that I want to have. If I want to enjoy the character in the way that I want to enjoy the character, I have to let go of some of that shame and that cringe.
I think unlearning is not the right word, but embracing.
Yes, recontextualize it.
Recontextualize is, you know, unlearn is not in our human genome.
Yes,
You just have to like embrace it. I mean, if we can unlearn things, oh my god, you know how many embarrassing memories I want to disappear in the planet of the earth, right? But no, I still remember them. So you just have to embrace it. I think embracing is like the healthier way to like. You know,
absolutely, I agree.
Yeah,
I would just love to reprogram my brain to forget everything horrible about myself.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
When is that software update coming out, please?
Yeah, please.
God, I know you have one in the bank. I know you have one in the bank. It can't just be turning us into crabs. Please, it has to be something else.
Just return to crab.
He just called me again. He said sorry again.
No, sorry. You can't keep getting away with this.
He can't keep getting away with this. Oh man. Hez, do you have any questions?
Question?
Yeah.
No. I think I have one, but I think it's at the like,
on the
finale.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I guess I have one final question.
Ooh.
I mean, this is from an anonymous inquisitor as well, but like this is also a question I've had. Is that like what, in your player's perspective, right, Peachy? What makes a good DM, or what makes a great DM?
I could just go around and list both of yours.
Pull up. Let me open up my notepad so I can write it down.
You do not need to. I'll tell you the
Sticky notes.
Taking notes. With my post-it notes. Give me a sec.
Oh my god.
Add one to the desk.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah. Oh my god, if I get sponsored by post-it notes, that will be
Post-it
amazing.
Is Post-it Notes a brand?
Yes.
I thought it was
by 3G or what? 3MF? I don't know.
I think it's
3 something.
So Post-it Notes. No, Post-it Notes is the brand. Sticky Notes is
Yeah.
the official.
Oh, okay.
Official. It's like, you know, pattern.
Okay. So you've got Pinterest and Post-it Works for ads.
And potentially Wizards of the Coast.
Yes.
If we hadn't burned that bridge.
I think we burned that bridge, yes.
Yeah.
I think we can fix it. I mean, there's no unburning the bridge, right?
True.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. So,
but sorry to derail. But I honestly could just go through and list DM qualities that you both have, and it would be an honest and true answer. I think having a DM that is passionate about your character and cares about your character in some way, shape, or form, and seems to truly want to engage with your character is a big plus. It helps massively with roleplay and figuring out your character in a massive way. I think creativity is a big one, and whimsy. So like a very stupid answer, but I love sorry, I love when a DM has just a little bit of whimsy and they're able to have fun and they're not just so like stagnant and stiff in being serious all the time. Which is both, again, traits you both have. I think, I think you can tell when someone is having fun being a DM. And I think that's like the most important DM trait, is that they're enjoying it and they're having fun. Yeah. Kind of a silly answer, but yeah.
That's such a cute and cozy answer.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know what I mean, not that I was expecting you to say anything particularly, but I was like, oh, something technical. Really specific.
No. You expect technical and specific from me?
From me?
No. Yeah.
Ever.
Wow. You don't know me like that. Wow.
No, we love you. But that's so nice of you to say that about us. I mean, I definitely about me. I feel like I don't deserve praise so many times.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a lesser DM most days.
Yeah.
Boo. That for.
Are you booing me?
I'm booing you, yes.
Boo. You don't suck. Boo.
You don't.
You don't suck.
Think nice.
Feel better about yourself, loser.
Loser. Have a happy mental mindset, loser.
Yeah, God.
Damn, you're such a friggin' loser, dude.
Aggressive positivity.
feeling
Can you imagine feeling bad about yourself? Get a grip, honestly. Get
a fucking grip. Catch yourself on. Catch yourself on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's so nice. This is so cute.
I mean it, honestly. It's not me trying to puff you guys up or anything. It's genuinely like my honest to God truth. I think I've been blessed to have you both as DMs as early as I did. And I feel very lucky for that. I don't think I'd be half the player I am now without your guidance. But yeah, I could just sit here and list your traits and it'd be me honest to God answer.
Do it. Honestly, go for it. Inflate our egos. God knows we need it.
Yes.
Well, you clearly do, loser, with your self-deprecating thoughts. God.
Oh man. I mean, I guess to piggyback off of that question again, it's like, okay, what are your favorite moments in both of our campaigns? Like, I know it's been a while since you've played in mine, but just one or two. Doesn't have to be a lot.
Yeah.
From yours, T? Any moment with Sean, honestly. It's like handcrafted specifically for me. A little treat.
It really was.
Yeah. Any moment with Sean. I think specifically one moment that stood out, it's fairly on in your campaign. It was like on the short just before Wiggly had left. But the PTSD crystals and the specifically the vision David had when he touched those has stuck with me in such a major way. I think that really was the first time I'd played a character and been like, oh God, this is making me really emotional. Like I feel for this character and I'm feeling like I am him in this situation.
Oh my God.
It was like the major point for me in my TTR.
I remember it was a very specific vision. It was David adoptive like parents as well as his birth parents.
Real ones,
like,
yeah.
all getting along and having a really nice dinner together. And it had just come off of like they just I think this like really intense fight.
Yeah.
And there was just a lot of depressing shit happening.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give like one little thing, but even that was like so bittersweet, I feel.
Yeah, but it was also right, it started in such a stupid way because I remember I think Wiggly was the first person to touch the gems and had a bad reaction, and then David was like, I'm built different. I'm gonna have a reaction, and touched the gems. I'm pretty sure that was the start of it.
Yeah, no, it's true. Bigley just tends to have bad roles.
Oh, yeah. No wonder she stopped doing TTRPGs, I can't lie.
Oh, bless. I miss her.
I miss her a lot too. I miss playing D&D with her. I see her and hear from her so often.
Oh my
She won't leave me alone.
Yeah, well,
We have to send her a cease and desist.
like, stop talking to me this way.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a major point for me in your campaign, and how I see characters. And then there are so many from like recent campaigns from yours, Hez, that I could just go on and on and on about. I think on a silly level, I mean, every single time you make a silly and sarcastic NPC, I'm obsessed with you. Specifically Winkle, he lives when rain. I love him. Yeah, but specifically the Elira stuff recently with Gwydion, that was the way we played off each other, and it was just so emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one for me.
Yeah.
I know it's like not exactly a happy thing, but
That was my
like,
favorite one
moments.
too. Especially like with you as a player. I think that was like the funnest I had. Being like, I'm gonna be able to like, talk shit to my ex. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's just super raw. I think with both of these, it was just very raw, and it just showcased how good you both are at role playing.
Oh boy. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Inflate the ego.
There you
Honestly.
go. It all circles back around.
Yeah. That was sweet.
I mean, to share some praises on both of as well from my end. With Peachy, I think my favorite moments were when, like, every time it comes up that, like, David has this, like, very real trauma of, like, being this hardened person, and also kind of, like, having that, TW, but, like, having that side of, like, oh, I used to be an alcoholic, but now I'm like doing my best to sober up, and like I'm trying hard to stay online on like a good path. I think that was so brilliant and kind of like unexpected. Every time you got really emotional with that like particular thread, I was just like, this would make such good TV. This would make such good TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was one of my favorite attributes that you sprinkled in to David. And I love playing Sean the Sheep because it was just so funny to just have you be like, Sean, stop that.
Oh
and then
God.
me going like, bah. Like really sarcastically. Bah.
Such a sassy bah. So sassy.
Yeah, bah. And sometimes they would be like really wicked because like he was a cannibalistic sheep. By the way. Yeah.
Drank as well.
Yeah, he drank. He could shoot fireballs, by the way, through his mouth.
Fantastic.
If he had enough alcohol in him. He was just one of the most batshit campaigns I've ever done.
Yeah.
But yeah, my compliment to Hez, I guess, just is his general character creation. Like the one that you made for my campaign that we never got to see, I was so excited about that one. Like fall bard.
Yeah.
Like a really shitty bard.
Yeah.
That one was really good. I really enjoy all of your voice. I wish I could have like same breadth of like the amount of voices that you do. I wish I had this resources for that, but I don't. I just bow to your greatness, honestly.
Thank you. All right, my turn.
Yes.
All right, so Peachy, one thing that I really enjoy is like playing with you, especially during the entire time with R2TYs, where ever since that explosion by the Zodiac Killer, it's so fucking funny every time you like clap back towards it. You're making just like a side comment about it, it's just hilarious on how you navigate through that, and especially when you're going to detective mode and you created the large murder board. That was like amazing, and you're so into that, in which fills me with excitement because oh shit, you know Peachy is like so into it. They're making a murder board. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm so passionate about this motherboard.
Yeah.
Thank you
love
so
the
much for giving me the
motherboard.
opportunity.
Yeah, no problem.
This has been a dream of mine for a very long time.
Yeah. No problem. And I just I like how like full send you can be on like with your characters and into like the story that that I have offered to you. Like you're so full send about it. Especially like
Thank
behind
you.
the scenes with Curse of Strahd. Even though that one thing that we talked about didn't work out, you will still like
Yeah.
so down to do the option that I gave you, which is Elira. So
Yes.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
And for T, fucking always amazing to play with. It's like you're so like good. Like I don't know, it's just the way we role play with one another just clicks, and that we like there's this chemistry that's just in the works, especially during the times with Silver Keep, where when I throw something at you, you just responded back with such grace and such like so awesome to how you navigate through. It's just like, yeah, this is the player I need to play with to DM for, because she's like they're amazing. They can bounce back for whatever I throw back at them, and we banter a lot, and that's what I'm looking for. So
Oh my god. Oh god, guys, my fucking heart is swelling.
Wait.
I'm not a Grinch anymore, guys. Oh my god, thank you so much.
No problem.
That honestly, both of you, like that means a lot to me. And I'm so glad that I can facilitate the experience on both ends as a player and as a DM. I'm just so glad.
That's why it's like I wish I could play as a player in T's campaign or
Yes,
one
I
shot.
would.
I would like.
I would
That's
kill
such a dive.
I would kill to play with you as a character. Genuinely, I would fight for this tooth and nail.
You know what? Session 0 soon. Let's have at it. Let's have at it.
Let's go. Fantastic.
Okay, Hez, let's do like one or two D&D AOT stories. And
Sure. All
we're
right.
gonna have a wrap.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, I'm worried. I'm worried.
Okay.
Don't be. This is the section where you have to be
Okay.
least worried,
So
because like everyone has a different opinion,
yes,
and
Yeah.
that's good. That's okay. That's the best.
Little frog. I'm not getting a frog.
The frog is just floating in space. All right, there it is. I know I'll read it, so you don't have to. So, since I
Yeah,
saved the best.
yeah.
All right. Here we go. Am I the asshole for playing D&D when I have 2 kids? I, 25M, have 2 little boys, one 2 years and other 5 months with my wife, 24F. Oh, sorry, 24 feet. I have been playing D&D every other Sunday for the past year, minus the semi-frequent cancellations that everyone in the TTRPG space is familiar with. When our second son was born last October, I took a 2-month hiatus from playing, but I went back about 3 months ago. However, my wife has been increasingly frustrated with me for continuing to play. She frustrated that I work all week. She is a stay-at-home mom, and I have recently been working 6 days a week, and then still disappear for 4 hours on some of my day offs. She is also frustrated that she doesn't get out of the house or get a break from the kids. Now, this point I completely understand. 99% of the times that I don't attend sessions, it's because I want to stay home and help her with our kids. However, at the same time, I have regularly encouraged her to get out and do things with her friends or her mom on the weekends. And there has been many times where she did do so while I stayed home with our boys, and that has never been a problem. However, those instances are few and far between due to the fact her friends are all also mothers, so there are often schedule conflicts. Today, she asked me if I could quit D&D. She said she has begun to resent the game as it takes me away for hours of my too few days off. I feel so awful and guilty, and I'm considering it. But at the same time, I feel conflicted, as that is the only time I see my friends and also my work. Recently declared we would not be working any Saturdays for the foreseeable future. I suggest maybe cutting myself back to one session a month and just missing every other session, but she didn't seem satisfied by that suggestion. So, I'm not gonna start this off.
Peachy. Yeah, Peachy, go ahead.
I think it's difficult because I'm not a parent. But I feel like if your spouse is communicating that they're having issues in workload, and they're struggling, I think you always need to listen to that more than you need to, I guess, not have fun, but I feel like if she's very clearly communicating frequently how she is feeling, so yeah, I feel like it's a difficult one, because in an ideal world you could have both, right? She could have her time off and you could have his, but it's clearly not working out that way. I think the dropping down to once a month is a good kind of compromise, but it's clearly not good enough for the wife. But yeah, it's difficult. It's a difficult one.
I'm trying to think my answer right now because this is like a bomb that I don't want to set off if it just starts yapping. so let me
trigger. I'll trigger it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I'll push the nuke button.
Sure.
No. So I don't think there's a clear-cut asshole here because I think he did well to admit guilt and be like, oh no, I feel guilty. I feel guilty for doing this. And I have XYZ, this is how I feel and this is what I'm doing. And he laid out the best that he could. He gave us the best version of the story that he could.
Yeah.
And did well to consider all sides. Didn't demonize his wife, which is hard to come by in Reddit.
Absolutely. Great.
So yeah, that's so far at least, I don't think he's an asshole with the information that I'm presented. Where I think he might be oblivious is that he said that, he said something very interesting. She can't hang out with other mothers where because other women or other friends of hers because they're all mothers and she's a mother so she can't go out and they're all mothers so they can't go out. I think it's very interesting that he has the cognizance to recognize that issue but not see that he could. Yeah, exactly. He's also and also that he could facilitate something for her. It could facilitate space for her to go out and have fun, at least have some time to decompress.
Yeah,
again, not an asshole, just it feels a bit like male privilege is prevalent here, which is not his fault. That's just how society is.
I mean, I would say that I felt like there's not enough of conversation happening. I felt like if they continue to talk it out, I felt like they're gonna be able to reach to the point of reaching a suggestion. I think cutting back to once a month would be great. I think that's a good move. Also, I think it would be a great idea to bring your family to to the place, and maybe the person who's hosting it can make friends with your wife and have fun with your kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
I think that's a way to circumvent that scenario. There is a edit a section. So, but for now, I think is not. I don't think it's an asshole. I think it's just a problem that just appear, and now the person is feeling bad. That's why they write this post because they think they're an asshole. I don't. It's just a problem that just exists now, and that need to have a conversation, talk about. And now I don't think it's warranted to make a "I am I the asshole" post. Honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it's that serious.
I don't think it's that serious. I think it's just it's just couples thing. It's a couple conflict, which at least I mean, in my opinion, I think they have a healthy relationship so far because she's
they're communicating.
I think so too.
She's able to voice her concerns, and the husband is saying, actually, you know what, I feel bad, and offering solutions. I think that's great. They're having a healthy conversation so far.
So far, neither of these people are bad.
No.
I will say something I've just picked up on is that, sorry to interrupt, but he said he took a 2-month break, and that the sessions are every 2 weeks, so he only missed 4 sessions. And also, if his suggestion is for the wife to go out at the weekend again, but he's working 6 days a week, where is she finding that time? And who's doing the childcare in that time? He's working 6 days a week. And when is there time for them as a couple as well? If she's going out on a Saturday, he's going out on the Sundays, and he's working every other day, where is there time for them as a couple?
And we don't know if she works. Oh wait, did he say
stay-at-home mom?
Yeah, stay-at-home mom.
Stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Okay. And childcare, full-time job. So really,
No days off.
No days off. It's just a tricky situation.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Though I'll say it's a tricky situation, but a healthy one, because they are able to voice their concern, and there's nothing bad.
It's not an insurmountable problem.
Yeah. All right. Let me.
They seem to be in a good place to deal with it.
Yeah, for sure. Let me read the edit. Edit. I see a lot of people making incorrect assumptions about me as a parent. When I am home, I'm very active with my kids. I do every single thing she does whenever I get off work. And on my off days, when I'm not out of the house, people are assuming I think my wife has it easy. That's absolutely not the case. She works just as hard as I do, and I'm absolutely aware of that.
That's why I think he's not the asshole.
No, he's not the asshole.
He's very recognizing of and acknowledging. I know it's the bare fucking minimum, but he's acknowledging his wife's work, the amount of labor that she does versus what he does.
Yeah.
Not versus, but at least doesn't think it's lesser than.
Yeah. It's 3 months ago, so I wonder what happened since then.
No, so maybe there's more information in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult. It could just be that, taking care of a 2-year-old who, I have a 2-year-old niece. Well, she's 3 now, but I know how difficult toddlers can be, and then a 5-month-old on top of that is that must be difficult to deal with for days at a time while your husband is working. And I understand not wanting an additional 4 hours of doing that alone a week. So maybe it's just the addition of the new kid that could be the instigator.
Probably. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So apparently the OP regularly goes out with their family. My wife and I do get out for family days with the boys semi-regularly. However, dates with just the 2 of us are a lot rarer than we wish, as there is not usually anyone who can take care of the boys, so we can have time with just the 2 of us. I'll say that you could ask your friends who play D&D with if they can, you just ask them to do a solid, or you could pay them, That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
I think
and I'm sure they won't mind paying.
Yeah. I think this is just a case where they haven't reached the option yet. They haven't reached
there will
the
be a solution.
They haven't reached a solution. I don't think that this OP is an asshole, even though apparently people says they're an asshole, but they're chronically online.
Yeah, I disagree with Reddit. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's not an asshole.
It's not
Just
an asshole. Just a couple thing.
Yeah.
It's a couple.
Just a couple thing.
Yeah.
We'll say
And
that comment is interesting. Sorry to interrupt again.
Uh-huh.
Go for it.
The comment is interesting because it says that there's no one else to do childcare, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then his suggestion for her getting out more, working, is take like a day off on the weekend out.
Mm-hmm.
Which if he's at D&D on the Sunday and he's working on the Saturday, who is taking care of the kid in the time that
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I don't think he's thought that suggestion through.
I don't think so either. I think he's just a bit
Yeah,
short-sighted.
naivety, I think.
Yeah. Maybe has read out
What?
comments that say YTA. Just
okay.
we might be missing something. You never know.
YTA, the most voted one? Yeah, the most voted one.
Trevor. Yeah.
YTA, I say this as a child-free person. When my friends had kids, I just understood I wouldn't see them much the first few years. In fact, I go out of my way to visit them on their own schedule, which was always changing. If you work 6 days a week, your Sunday needs to be spent with your wife and kids. I'm not saying you can never have a life again, but until they're school age, socialization is going to be minimal. Your wife isn't taking time for herself because she's prioritizing her kids over protecting a social schedule. You need to do the same. Maybe stick to D&D one-offs only for a few years and only one where it's okay for you to skip last minute. Or figure out what needs to be happen for you to only work five days a week. Whatever it is, you can't be spending half your days off away your family. Sorry you sign up for this.
That is fair enough, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the asshole for it, but that's fair enough reasoning at least.
I don't think it's an asshole. I honestly, that's what I stand on.
Mhm.
Is fair points. Though
Yes, yeah.
the guy is not the asshole. Actually, he is a Chad for actually taking it seriously.
Yeah.
So
But you know what's really, really fucked up about this situation?
yeah.
Is that he's 25
Mm-hmm.
and he has 2 kids, and I'm 26, and I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
2
Don't
kids?
worry. I have a friend who got a kid when I was 17. We're the same age and they have a kid already on the way. So don't worry.
Wow.
Don't worry.
I mean, I don't want children necessarily. Like, it's so weird seeing the disparity.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm. I think that's a little too young to get kids. Especially in this
I also
economy.
think so.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah.
Like, how
Very
can you
true,
afford
true.
2 children?
Oh my god. It's like
Maybe they're really economically stable.
I mean,
I mean, you'd
Yeah,
hope if he's
financially.
working 6 days a week, he's
Yeah.
getting banked,
yeah.
realistically.
that's
Oh, I
true.
know, right? But then in those kind of jobs, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
For-
real hit or miss.
Okay, I'll say this. It's a society thing. I think the comments are leaning more into toxic masculinity. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
I'll let you cook.
So think about it. This man is working 6 days a week, right? And he, as males, I will say that working 6 days a week is a fucking hellscape. And
Yeah,
sometimes the way we function is different, as sometimes we just need to be with our friends for a bit to feel feel energized, which is why 4 hours a day is there. That's why he's playing D&D, because he wants to feel recharged with his friends, right? But they're lambasting him for like not doing enough. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And while I think there's another thing is like they also like now realizing that in the society that parents, I assume that they live in the States because I see this in the States as well. They're scared to ask for help.
Yes, yeah.
And which on top of the how the male culture is here, even more so, there's no help gonna be on the way towards this family. because they're they'll be seen as how we get dumb, stupid, shouldn't have kids in the first place, right? Because they're 25 and 24. They're still young.
Yeah.
So I think that's like some into play. They're young, let them figure it out, and just the comments lambasting, the post for not being there for family is such a toxic masculinity thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because they still have the notion of the males being the breadwinner,
which is just wow.
Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah, those comments are worth ignoring.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like, okay, that's what
That's that post.
Yeah, that's my opinion about it in relation to like toxic masculinity, which I fight for, because fuck it. So yeah.
It hurts men more than it helps them.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
All right, we have time for the next one, right? We have a lot of time for the next one.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Am I the asshole for complaining a lot on a D&D game? Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
No.
Here we go. See, I'm a competitive person. I'll admit that.
Oh,
I
great.
don't like it.
We're off to a good
I
start.
already don't like them.
We're off to a great
And
start.
I don't like it when things go wrong. Control freak. But I like to complain in these situations. This is a way to distress. I also like to make fun of other players as they make fun of me too. But lately we've been arguing because apparently one or more players at our table don't like the fact that I'm complaining during the game. Complain about bad dice, or that we're losing a lot in a unbalanced encounter, in my opinion. The thing is, my complaints are mostly about distressing, so much so that I keep playing happily, chatting and playing normally afterwards. I believe I'm not wrong about this because it's part of my personality, and I've never demanded that anyone at the table change to suit me and my gaming needs. Another factor is that most of the tables have been friends with the GM for a long time and has similar personality. While I'm different in this regard, both because I'm a new player in its dynamics and because I have a different way of dealing with stress. GM told me that sometimes in my frustration I am rude to others, which is true, but nothing I say is personal against any of them, and I don't mean to be rude. They understand this as rude, but it's just rant. As they also make fun of my character and me, calling him useless or cowardly, in this case my character, which also annoys me, but he disregards this, saying it's just a joke, and that's because I don't like being the butt of the joke. It just makes it funnier for them to make fun of me, calling me a crying baby, but when I make fun of them, then I'm rude. Oh boy.
Oh god.
I spoke
Jeez,
with
boy.
It's cyclical.
I spoke with the GM, who, despite understanding his points, I disagree with me being the asshole of the situation, as there are things in the personality of the people at our table that also stress me. But that's not only why I come to speak badly about them. In the GM's DM, one of the players has a habit of doing things without planning or thinking about the consequences, which bothers me a lot. But I think it's just his personality, and it just differs from mine. I believe that different people have different ways of dealing with everyday stress. Some stay quiet in stressful situations, others complain. I'm on the complaining team. Simple as that. And I think it's wrong to call myself an asshole because I have a different personality from others in that sense. The GM told me that despite being my way of distressing, it ends up stressing other players. But there are several things that the other players do that stress me too. But I don't complain about their attitudes, and I think it's unfair that I'm the only asshole for distressing me while others can talk and do whatever they want. I offered a compromise and said that when it wasn't my turn, I would mute so as not to disturb others. I might be the asshole because I'm making people stress too. So, am I the asshole for complaining as a way of venting?
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, you
Yes.
are.
Mm-hmm.
I love the point of I'm not. Why do other people get to vocalize their disdain for me when I don't get to do the same? And it's like, you are constantly, and that is
Yeah.
why they are acting that way towards you.
Yeah.
Another thing he said is that, oh, but I don't complain about their attitude. Why do they complain? But I don't complain at all. Like, my brother in Christ, you're literally started this post off by saying I complain constantly.
Yeah.
It's a lack of self-awareness that is really astounding, considering they've written this post and likely read it back to themselves before posting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you constantly have negative things to say, if they're valid and they're constructive and they're not just rude and belittling, then absolutely you should open a dialogue about them. Maybe not mid-session, but maybe like bring them up in a way that is, you know, comfortable for everyone and not just like constant snide. Yeah.
Jokingly. I think the tone is just like tough for maybe the tone is like sarcastic. Like it's so sarcastic that you think it's true. It is his way of de-stressing, which is, you know, it's a sword that is very sharp.
Yeah. I think the entire thing of, oh well, it's just my personality and I can't help it, seems to shunt a lot of the blame.
Yep.
You know, you can help aspects of your personality. At the very least, if you know they're hurting other people, you can kind of tone them down. And I think that's, you know, how we socialize.
Yep.
You know, we're always toning down aspects of our personality that don't gel well with other people. You know, that's part of being human and socializing. And I think, yeah, the excuse of, well, that's just how I am and that's how I process stress is lazy. And no wonder these people are getting snide comments if they can, you know? But I think that's cyclical.
Yeah. I'll say that everybody's an asshole because of the table as well. I mean, the table...
Yeah, it seems very toxic.
The table is also like talking shit on the OP. So, which creates this hostile... I mean, he even said it, that we have the same personalities. So this environment, this table is so toxic that it just cultivate into this.
I think it's very cyclical.
But here's the thing, right? They might just be doing it as a reactionary thing to his constant like stream of just negativity. Because I don't know that I don't trust this OP to like honest about everyone else involved. Like, he might just be like, oh no, they're all like, trust me, they're all the same. We're all the same. But it could just be like him trying to twist the narrative, or just he himself is like, oh, I'm just like, oh, they're just like me because they're complaining about me.
Yeah.
But like, here's my thing: if like 5 people are complaining about you
specifically,
then what? Why?
Then
I don't
you,
think
right?
that. Yeah, it's literally you have to at least think about yourself as an asshole. Because...
I mean, yeah, the things they mentioned that they've said as well are very interesting, like calling them a crybaby and like critiquing specifically the fact that they complain a lot. That just seems like observations more than anything else. Like, clearly you don't call someone a crybaby over nothing. Clearly the complaints were a consistent thing, or at least from the word crybaby and the way they're specifically digging back at this player. It seems like, I don't know, maybe there's maybe there's thing, but I think it's also cyclical in that, like, obviously the person is complaining and then the people are reacting to that, and that gives the player more to complain about. I think it's very cyclical and toxic.
Oh my god. Also, it is a tough situation too, because they're friends as well. So they can't just, you know, get this person out because, you know, they're friends. So
Yeah.
Gonna be awkward when you meet them again. Saying,
It is.
Hey, remember you kicked me out? Yeah.
The campaign. Remember, you were really.
Yep. So
You're really mean.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, I'll say, okay, I think that's a compromise, a valid compromise. Like, if it's your turn, you mute, and then you can vent that way, you know. Though, still,
I think when you're having thoughts about complaining, maybe mute and then say the complaint out loud to get out your system, and then unmute, and then the people don't have to hear that if it's online.
Yeah, and when you make comments like like complaining comments, right? Make it very obvious that you're just joking around. You're being like, if your dice is bad, or your luck is bad, or what's their way, when the situation just doesn't go your way, or unbalanced encounter, right? Just make it very funny. Throw some jokes, not saying
yeah.
That's like, you can still that's how you complain, but in a much more healthier way, or much more fun for your tables, because you try to lighten the mood, but that's my opinion. Yeah, that's what I always do.
So yeah,
that's what I do.
This table just requires a bit of banter.
Yeah,
a bit of banter.
They need to be whimsy.
Whimsical. Yeah, be whimsical.
Be
Fix
a little
everything.
bit whimsy. Yeah.
7 on 10, not enough whimsy.
All right, let's see what the comments say. You're the asshole even if you don't intend or want to be. Used to play Battlefield with a group of college friends. One would keep this running, the odd tribe of complaint if they weren't perfect or didn't get kills they wanted. They do it to be mean, and it wasn't even directed to anyone but themselves and enemy players. But holy ever-loving fuck, is it annoying. It brings down the mood and all of our will to play for long periods of time, much like D&D. Here it's way faster, nothing wrong with some good natured ribbing, but it sounds like your distressing stresses everyone the fuck out. Yeah.
I agree.
It's important to weigh up like intention versus effect.
Yeah.
Clearly you're not intending to be hurtful, but at the same time it is stressful and annoying.
This one has some, it breaks it down. Okay, you're the asshole. Man, I'll admit that I don't like it when things go wrong. Man, you picked up a terrible hobby then. Things go wrong is a core part of any TTRPG.
Yeah.
It's a part of my personality. It's not an excuse for poor behavior. If a core part of your personality is bad, then you should work on fixing it. This is just who I am. It's not some magical excuse to be an ass without facing the consequences. You don't get to decide how others feel. They are point blank telling you that everyone finds you rude. You just don't get to say nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, and people find complainers to be annoying and rude. This is a normal reaction to chronic complaints because it's annoying. It's unfortunate that your personality is considered off-putting to many people, but that's the reality of your personality in this regard. While it is admirable that you don't complain about the things that they do that you don't like, you have to understand that some people don't want to just unnecessarily deal with something they strongly dislike. You, a single individual, is lessening the enjoyment of an entire group of people. That's not necessarily a reflection upon you as a person, but you and your group are clearly not a good fit for each other. The best solution here is to find a group of friends that aren't annoyed by your desire to vent your frustrations the way you do. Yeah. Tak Jaehoon.
Yeah, it's a very comprehensive breakdown.
Tak Jaehoon, my opinion is just like you captured all our opinions. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
So,
that is pretty much a perfect summation of everything that was wrong about that person.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. How do you feel about competitiveness in TTRPG?
If it's reciprocated, and if it's in light humor, and if it's fun for everyone else involved, then I think it's fine. Having two brawny dudes who compete about how strong they are, that's fun. And as long as both people are engaging in that equally, then it's fun and it's silly. But if you are just competitive and you are turning everything into a competition, even when other people voice like for it, then I think there's an issue there.
I think it's gotta be like a role for me. It's gotta be a role play thing. Like it's part of your character. Like because there could be some fun with that, and there could be growth from that as a as a character. But as a person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a DM.
Yeah, no. That's a DM, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's just no.
I think it just stresses me
Oh yeah.
when two players are very active.
Yes,
competing.
yeah.
I
oh my god. I don't know how to referee that.
It's like, oh my god, it just haunts my nightmares of being of a player just saying that, I'm gonna be able to roll like 25 attack roll every single time, and my lower is 19.
Yeah.
I can deal like 150 damage in one go. And it's possible, but saying it like that is just it becomes a numbers game, which could be fun for some, but for me it's just, as a role player focused DM, it's just no.
I feel like D&D is supposed to be a collaborative thing, or TTRPGs are supposed to be a little bit collaborative at the very least.
Yes.
So I feel like turning it into a competition is, maybe this isn't the game for you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Maybe these aren't the type of games for you.
We literally said, me and Hus both literally said multiple times, as a collaborative, not necessarily a competitive one, unless you're playing a Bria style PvP.
Yeah. PvP is the exception.
Yeah. So yeah.
And I think a little bit of inter-party like conflict is always fun, but as long as it's consensual and everyone, the DM is checking in regularly to make sure both sides are comfortable and happy with it outside of character.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly. I like that you said consensually, because without consent, this just means you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like that's a one-way straight highway street to become an asshole. So
yeah, absolutely.
I agree. So I think that's it for Am I the Asshole? Is there more? Yeah, that's it.
No, not for today.
All right.
Some good posts. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to talk? Oh, I have one question, though. I think it's like near our time to record. Oh my god, it's almost 2 hours. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh my god, that was fun.
Because we just get on with Peachy really well outside of everything.
Oh
my
god.
All right, before we wrap it up, I have one last question. It is the most important question in your entire life, Peachy.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yes.
Waffles or pancakes?
I've been preparing for that. My entire life. It's all been building up to this.
Yeah.
I actually have a visceral hatred for pancakes.
Oh.
Visceral.
Wow.
I can't stand to be in the same building as pancakes cooking. It makes me feel genuinely very sick.
Oh
my god, really?
Oh my god.
Shrove Tuesday is hell for me. Genuinely, it's like a one day a year where I have to lock myself away and just not interact with food at all. Yeah, I have like a very bad reaction to pancakes for some reason.
Oh my god, this is the most opinionated answer we've had.
Yeah, no. I think I've maybe had, apart from like thick like American style pancakes that are more pancake, like the crepey type ones, the thin ones that I'm familiar with. I've had one of them in my entire life, and it made me throw up.
Oh, what?
Wow.
Yeah, so I can't do pancakes. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with waffles.
Oh my
by
god.
default.
Holy damn.
Holy god.
My comprehensive breakdown of the subject.
I think that's 2-0. Waffles leading, right?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
It is.
Waffles are leading. We need to have a board up somewhere.
Yeah, I'm planning to.
Maybe maybe above one of the shelves.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Current waffle versus pancake. I don't think
pancake.
no
Are
one yet.
Pancake?
No one
No
yet.
one yet. The podcast hosts do not
Apply to
have
this.
any opinion.
Nope.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's convenient.
Yeah.
We are the
That's
true
convenient for you
centrists.
guys, huh?
We sit on the fence.
Yes, we sit in the fence.
You're what the Lib Dems should be.
My God.
All
Let's
right.
not start.
Oh, yeah,
on the
yeah, sorry,
liberals.
sorry.
Yeah, all right. Before we get
Let's
to
not start
political
on the
here,
politics.
before we go political here, I hope you enjoyed today's interview. And yeah, Peachy, it was so much fun talking to you.
Honestly.
Yeah, same to you guys. Genuinely such a pleasure to be here, and thank you
Yeah.
for even
You.
inviting me. I love you both so much. You're so dear to me. And this is a special thank you.
Yeah.
Kisses.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mwah. Mwah.
Yeah. For those who are watching, if you do enjoy this interview, please consider hitting like and subscribe. Also, follow us on Twitch as well.
Yes.
We always stream there around Fridays. For
Yes.
Daily Dialogue specifically, we stream there
Yes.
Fridays around 10
Best podcast ever.
a.m. PST,
Aw.
which is what's on your time zone, T? What is it for point of reference?
Oh God. So for British time zone, for now it's PM, 6 p.m.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asian time zones and other parts of. I am so.
You have Google.
I
Don't worry
I
about
am
it.
not.
You
yeah.
have Google.
I am not smart.
Yeah.
Addition? You're asking me to do addition? Subtraction?
I mean, I can think of maybe Singapore and India and
Yeah.
South Asia, but that's about.
Mm. All right. Before we go, anything you wanna say, Peachy?
I just want to reiterate how special it's been. Thank you for inviting me. I did not think I'd have as many opinions as I did.
Yeah.
But I think it's just how well I get along with both of you. So thank you. You're both amazing hosts. And join the Divinity D&D server or perish.
Yes. Yes.
This is not a suggestion, it's a
Brandable.
threat.
So brandable. Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
just glad. I hope we've been inviting hosts and interviewers. We're still working out kinks, I guess.
Yeah.
So do let us know, PG.
Yeah.
And comment
Flawless,
section.
perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Aw.
And no complaints.
Bless. Also,
Um,
also, we have a Patreon.
oh yeah,
Right?
we do.
We,
do
have a
have a Patreon.
Patreon. We need to
We-
plug it now.
We need to plug it now, indeed. Yeah. So in the description below, also a pin in the comments, it will be a link to our Patreon. We have it's all brand new setup. There's nothing there yet, but in time we'll be filling it up with behind the scenes content, some Patreon stuff content as well, and yeah, if you want to support us, just go and support us there. The lowest is $3, which is enough for us for now. But yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think there's anything more to add. So yeah,
Not particularly, no.
yeah, we hope that you all enjoyed. So see you later. Bye.
Bye.